All right, bear with me because this is video number 3 that I've created. But today we are going to install our own social media app. It's called Peertube. It's also the same way for Mastodon. I'm going to show you how to install this, but it's with a provider called Alestio. Alestio, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, but Alestio is absolutely fantastic in that they only charge you for the data you use. A new thing for me. This is my first video that I've created. So if you want to sub and help out the channel, or if you like my political content, but you can check me out on teapartypodcast.com and hit all my socials. But subscribe if you want more content like this, because I'll probably do more. This is kind of what I want to get into. I will be doing my political content as well, but we are going to create our own social media network. If you're not familiar with ActivityPub, ActivityPub is a protocol. And look at all these different software that use ActivityPub. The two main ones that we're going to focus on today are Mastodon and Peertube. So Mastodon is like Twitter, only it's not centralized. It's decentralized. So you're running the software, you're the admin. You decide who gets blocked. You decide what gets said. You decide. You are the admin, and you can block as many servers as you want. You can do anything that you want. You don't have someone to tell you what you can and can't say. You don't have the United States government deciding whether or not that you can be put on somebody's app or not. So many people will talk about free speech, but they don't want to pay for it. They say they believe in democracy and they don't believe in socialism or communism, but they want a free app. Well, if you don't like the constraints of being the product, if you don't want to be the product, then host it yourself. Go over and sign up for an account for Alestio. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a service. Just go in here, type in, you can either type in Mastodon, which is the second one there, or what we're going to do is Peertube, but it's exactly the same way. So we're going to Peertube. We'll click on that, select it. I usually just use the defaults. It's a small 1 core, 2 gigabyte, 20 gigabytes of storage, 20 gigabytes bandwidth included. So we just go next. For the support, I literally just do the same thing. We're going to call this My Videos 3 because it's the third time I'm doing this. I'm using a URL that I got for free for DreamHost was just offering it. So it's myvideos.cloud. I don't know what I'm going to do with it after this, but I signed up for it for free, and that's what we're going to use. I create the service. It takes a while for them to deploy the service. So it says service is starting. So what it's doing is setting up this little virtual server here. And we'll come back to that. But I go over here to since I've done this before, but I'll show you how to do it. You just literally create an A record. On the first one, I put this. I put an @ sign. The second one, I just do www like that. For each record down here, I have 2 records. I'm using DreamHost's name servers, but I've got these 2. Now they already have a value here because I've already done this. But once this is up and running, it's going to give you an IP address. What we're going to do is we're actually going to point it to this. But this is what comes up. Type in the IP address. Now, you will have to deal with the certificates of SSL certificates, but we're not going to cover that in this video. I'm just showing you how to set up your social media app that is Peertube. The beauty of this is off my website. This is social.martyabernathy.com. This is similar to what people used to call TweetDeck, but you can make it look like old style Twitter. But everything is on here. My Peertube is on here. If you go over here, click on that, bang. There's all the videos that I've done. The videos that I've done on my Peertube are all political because I'm political. And I put my banned TikToks up there as well. All my videos come up in Mastodon, right? Which is like Twitter. If you look, here's my blog as well. Click on it. You can see all the posts that I've made from my blog. This is a hub for social media accounts where people can get all of your social media stuff. They just follow you. That's it. Anytime you post videos or blogs or whatever, if it's running ActivityPub, there it is. You can subscribe to it. In fact, I use another app. If we go into the people that I follow, if I go into my profile here and I go to followed a bunch of podcasts. So At Home in My Head, this is one of my favorite podcasts from Tracy Harris of Godless Bitches fame. She does her own podcast, but I follow her podcast, right? And anytime that her podcast posts a video or an audio, so let's go back to look and see if our service is running. It is. So if we go here, it will show us, and we display admin UI, right? It shows us. Now, if I click on this, it'll bring up, in fact, let's do it. It'll bring this up. If I want to log in, I'm going to put these credentials here. You can show the password, and then you can just copy them over here and put them in there, and bang, you're up. It's fantastic. But down here, just copy that. IPv4, you're going to put this in the A record, save it, change this one, save it. Now, this takes a while to propagate, but once it does, we're done. We have a Peertube. While we're waiting for the domain name to propagate, we can go over here. If we display our Peertube URL, right? We can log in. We'll do that by using root and the password here. So you've automatically got, and those are my email addresses. Don't tell anybody. Root and then our password, right? And this just gives you the documentation and you can configure your instance. After you get this set up, you can go in and change things around. The first thing that I would do is change your username. You can go into administration and create a user, make them administrator. That's the thing. That's what I would do. I would never post using your admin account. That's just, I don't think that's good practice. You have everything here. You can follow people. Personally, I don't. I do everything off of Mastodon, but you can do your moderation here. You can change the configuration. You can do live streaming. Yeah, so there you go. If you want me to do any kind of plugins or any kind of tutorials on this part, let me know. We'll go through it together. But yeah, this is how you set it up. And it's so easy, and it's yours. That's the thing. It's yours. Nobody can take this away from you.